Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster was in the course below us. Wow, Lois, what a story, a very emotional story. And I can honestly relate to your situation. My mother lived with me the last 6 months of her life. And when you were telling that story about the adventure to Dairy Queen, I'll never forget the time when she moved in and she wanted to have pizza. I mean, here's a lady who had never had pizza her whole life, and she decided that was a time in her life, in her late 70s, she wanted to have pizza. So I can certainly relate. Let's go over your speech. The organization and content I thought was excellent. You had that opening line with you on the phone. Obviously, it set the stage very well for what the story would be, and then you just went through the whole progression. Again, very emotional story about your father and everything. But you had a lot of great points, and of course, your conclusion was fantastic, the way you wrapped it up. I thought your body movement was very good. You stood here, and I think you made good eye contact, went back and forth. I think you could have come out into the audience a little bit more. I mean, there were no notes, obviously, very well memorized speech. I think you could have came out a little bit more. Your hand gestures were good. Probably could have expanded them a little bit. Again, just a little bit more with a hand gesture. I think would have added a lot to that speech. Your voice, you have a very beautiful voice, very easy to understand. Again, good vocal variety. You started out with that shout and got everybody's attention, and then you walked around and you had some good low moments. There was one time you were whispering, I think when you were talking about the crisis, and you were just maybe a little too low with the whisper. I had to really bend my ear to try to pick it up. But your pace, your inflection, very good on your voice. I think the best part about your speech are the words. You have very clear, very concise words. Nothing fancy, no weird jargon. That's kind of my problem. I tend to use a lot of weird jargon, but the words themselves are just very clear, very easy to understand. I really thought they were good. Very polished. Is this the first time you ever gave this speech? Very, very polished. You must have practiced it because the words just flowed and it's very easy to understand. So that's kind of my overall thing. I loved your speech. Again, I related to it one-on-one, and I very much enjoyed it. Toastmaster.